Good morning. This is Militia with Love for Life Wellness. Welcome to our Sister to Sister Saturday. I know I'm a little bit early today, as usual, because if you watch me, you know I'm trying to make sure everything is working properly. And so we've got Miss Sierra with us this morning, and we're going to have a wonderful, great show today. And it's a very important show. So we're going to be talking about underlying conditions, chronic health issues, and how to get us healthy and strong as we are dealing with this virus that is ravaging our community. Great, it's
Mhm.
there. Perfect. I'm getting better at this now, Sierra. Okay, perfect. That's good. Okay, so it's there now. And then I'm going to start a watch party.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my God. I got it. And it's just now 12 o'clock. I'm after 12 o'clock doing this. Okay. So I'm excited. So welcome everybody to the Sister to Sister Saturday. This is Saturday, March the 28th. This is almost the end of the month, and we've had some great shows this month. And I appreciate everybody that's been watching our show, and that are participating. So we're gonna start watch party. So whoever is on today, bring somebody that you know on. Start a watch party because we're going to be talking about healing your body naturally. And we've got Miss Sierra. Is it Bazell?
Yes, it is.
Miss Sierra Bazell. So, for those that don't know me, if you're new to the Sister to Sister, my name is Malisha Bailey. I am a nutritional health coach. I live in Springfield, Missouri. I'm married. I have a son, and I have a brand new baby granddaughter that I cannot see because she's in Seattle, Washington, and I can't travel. But I'm so grateful that I was able to see her born, and we do FaceTime and things like that. So I get to see her growing up. And Sierra, I need to put you in touch with my son's girlfriend because she's not breastfeeding, and I wish she had her, but she's
Mhm.
good, and I would love for her to hear more about healing her body naturally because she ended up having to have cesarean. But we're going to talk to Sierra about that. But anyway, this group. I do this show because I want people to hear other health coaches from around the world and that can give us help in our journey for health and wellness. And so I do this out of a servant's heart because I want to share what I know and get other people to impart into us what they know so that we can be healthy and strong. And so I have my YouTube channel. It's Malisha Bailey. And I would love for you to be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that channel. Sierra has a YouTube channel as well. And we're just trying to educate people on being healthy and living healthy. And it's so important during this time. And I'm going to say the word coronavirus because when we're looking back years later and this show, as somebody's watching this show, they'll know exactly when the show aired because it's been aired during the coronavirus. And so we're going to talk about getting healthy doing that. So anyway, yes, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a business page, Melisha's Love for Life, on Facebook, and I also have a special group that's just for ladies. It's called Love for Life. It's a private page. It's got about 230 something ladies on there, and it's a private group just for ladies, so ladies can feel free to talk about their health issues. We're sisters, we're all in this together, and it's a voice community of people that are working for their health. And so I'm
Mhm.
so excited to be in that. I have started that group, and Sierra is a part of that group as well. And so let me see who's on. I've got Harold Wesley Pratt. He's here in Springfield. He is joining us today. And so anybody that's joined, let me know. Give me a high five, get some loves out, and just let me know that you are on today. And so without further ado, I think I've got everything out. So I've got Miss Sierra Bazell. She is a health and wellness coach and a fertility specialist and a herbalist. And you have your master's degree, is that correct? And you're also working on your PhD or what?
Yes, so I recently finished my PhD in December. It's in leadership. But yeah, I have a lot of degrees, but I'm more concerned about health. Like that is my passion. So I am an herbalist, I'm a health coach, and I really focus on women's health and fertility. But my journey started a long time ago, about 10 years ago, when I started having my own health challenges. So now I try to do what I can to help as many people as I can to know about the importance of their health and just making sure that they're taking care of their bodies.
And that's so important. And so tell us just a little bit about your journey and what some of the things that you may have been dealing with, because somebody else may have the same issues, or they may know somebody that may have the same issues.
Yes, absolutely. So my issues really started when I was a teenager. I had a lot of problems with my cycles every single month. I would be in so much pain that I would have to leave school. And my mom, she would have to come get me, or once I started driving, I would just leave myself. And that continued for many, many years. And then when I was about, I want to say 23, I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. And, everything went well. There were no issues. I ended up having an emergency C-section, and then my body went haywire. So after this C-section happened, I started having a lot of digestive issues. I couldn't eat without feeling nauseous, or if I did eat, it would come right back out. And this went on for months and months, and it took forever to get my digestive system back together. Then I developed all of these different cysts in areas of my body. I had one on my right ovary, one in my breast. I started to lose a lot of weight, wasn't really sure what was happening. And I just really had to make a choice. Like I thought I was eating healthy. I was doing all the wheat bread and, not eating red meat and all the things that they say are bad for you. But my body still was not functioning properly. So it took me, I want to say, about 3 years of really researching and figuring out what worked for my body. I had to read books, and I went to go see different practitioners, holistic people, because when I went to the doctors, they weren't giving me answers. So I had to find them for myself. And I was able to get better once I started working on things. It took me about 6 months to be able to heal the cysts that were in my body. And it took a longer time to heal my digestive system. But everything got better, and I was able to thrive and really, really just be able to help other people. So in 2016, I became a doula. And after that, I became a health coach. And last year, I became a master herbalist, even though I've been dealing with herbs for about 10 years now. But I really wanted to have the knowledge to be able to share with other people.
Wow, that's amazing. And so what were some of the things? Did you change your diet to help your digestion? And did you use herbs and teas? And what did you do? Just tell us, what did you do?
Okay, so the first thing I did was really look at what I was eating, because everybody, well, not everybody, most people have some type of thing that their body is sensitive to, and your body will let you know what you shouldn't be eating by the way that you feel. And the thing that we tend to do is ignore this. And I was good for that. So I would eat different things like corn. For me, that's a big trigger. Corn will give me migraines. It will also cause digestive problems for me, but I didn't pay attention to it. I was just like, oh, I'm fine. So I eliminated all of the big, foods that cause issues. So corn, dairy, wheat, and then eggs for a little while. I took all of those things out, and I did an elimination diet. I started with the Whole30, because that was just the easiest one for me to do personally. So I started with the Whole30, and I did that, and it worked pretty well. But then for me, I felt like I needed to go a little further. So 3 months after doing the Whole30 for 30 days, so for the next 90 days after that, I actually went vegan. and I did a vegan diet for 90 days. And I was taking supplements along the way. So I did dandelion root tea to help with my liver, along with milk thistle. So I did those two. And I was also taking some probiotics, but I really wanted to focus on things that were going to kind of coat my gut, for lack of better words. So I did a lot of bone broth, putting it in everything that I was eating. So if I would make vegetables, they needed to be cooked. Because I talked to a Chinese medicine practitioner, and they were like, for a problem with digestion, you don't need to be eating raw foods right now.
Okay.
Because before, when I was on the Whole30, I tried juicing, and I
Mm-hmm.
realized that it really wasn't working for me. So I went vegan, but I only ate cooked foods during that time. And for me, that was very beneficial because my stomach couldn't handle eating salads. It wasn't working. So I focused on eating a lot of things that were warming foods. So I did a lot of ginger. I did turmeric, which was really good for the inflammation that my body was experiencing. And I made sure that I drank a lot of warm things. I never did any water that wasn't room temperature or warmer, because again, that coldness is not something that you need when you're dealing with a digestive problem. And so after that 3-month period of being vegan, I started slowly introducing different foods back into my diet to see how my body would react. So I noticed after that if I ate any dairy, it gave me a lot of mucus and drainage. So I was like, I probably should kind of limit that or do that a little bit. And then I did organic meats when I finally introduced them back in. So only organic and grass-fed meats. But I tried to eat a lot less meat than I was eating before. So I would only have like one piece of chicken and then have brown rice as, my grain. And then I would have half my plate of vegetables. So I did that once I came off the vegan diet, and that's kind of how I've maintained my lifestyle. Now I'm considering myself more of a flexitarian because I still eat meat, but I try not to eat it as much as I was doing before.
I would say that's probably me too. I'm more a flexitarian. I would love not to eat any meat,
Mm-hmm.
but my naturopathic doctor says because I'm African American female, and I do have low iron, that I really need to eat more meat. And I don't really like meat, but I do try to eat it every now and then when I can. But what I like, everything that you said, is you learn what was right for you and your body, and that's what anybody that's out here listening, you have to listen to your body, because your body will tell you what it needs, what it wants. It
Mm-hmm.
will tell you, yes, I like this, you'll feel good. Or if you get those headaches or you have stomach issues, your body will let you know that, no, I don't like that. So the thing is to pay attention to what your body is telling you and not just look over it because it's something that you like. Now, I love sugar. I've been eating too much sugar during this coronavirus. I could tell my hands are achy, my joints are achy, I'm inflamed. And so, but I've got, the thing is, I know, and so I won't do that anymore. So anyway, we're going to transition because we're going to talk about how to heal your body during during this coronavirus. A lot of people that have underlying conditions, those are some of the ones that are being more susceptible to this illness, to this issue, or to this virus, and not just older people. So talk about why we have to get our bodies nice and strong so that when some of these viruses and pandemics, because there is going to be another one, and we just got to be ready, our body, mind, and spirit. So talk about how to heal what we need to do to get ourselves together, stronger, holistically, and heal. You know what I mean?
Right. I think for me and for most people, it has to start in the mind. So You know, a lot of us don't really do anything until something bad happens. In my personal case, I didn't do anything until my body fell apart. However, we don't want to wait until something bad happens to take care of our bodies. You can look at your family history and see that there are probably issues. My family deals with a lot of diabetes, that's a big one, hypertension or high blood pressure, that's really big in my family, and heart disease, and recently cancer on both sides. And so for me, that's kind of, you know, my driving force. 2 years ago, my grandmother dealt with oral cancer. She had never smoked a day in her life. You know, they couldn't figure out where it came from. And her brother had had cancer a couple years prior to that. So I think that the issue is that people think, oh, well, I'm fine. And they don't really know because they don't go to the doctor. If you're not going to the doctor and getting your blood work done, you don't know whether you're at risk or not. So the first thing I would say is to really focus on making sure that you know where you stand with your health. A lot of us don't like going to the doctor because we don't necessarily trust them. And I think that's a big issue for a lot of people. But the good thing about that is you can go to see an integrative medicine practitioner. You can go to see a naturopathic doctor. You can go to see whoever it is that you want to see, but you need to know, first of all, where you stand with your health. What does your blood work look like? You know, first and foremost. So that's the first thing that you should do. You need to know where you stand. And then once you know where you stand, you can take action to fix the issues that you have. Whether it's hypertension, diabetes, whatever the issue is, it can be fixed. And a lot of doctors will even tell people that, like, you know, change your diet, exercise, drink water, do all of the things that you need to be doing anyway. So once you know where you stand, then you start focusing on fixing your health. The first thing to do is, of course, to work on your lifestyle. And I don't like for people to say diet because diet is not something that's sustainable. It's something that we do for a little while and then we're done.
Right, absolutely.
I'm going to go on a 30-day diet. Woohoo, 30 days is up. Now I'm eating cake again. So don't make it into a diet. Really focus on changing your lifestyle. And it's not something you can do overnight. You can't do it overnight. It's not going to work that way. You can't just go on some elimination diet and then, you know, you're never going to eat cake again. I still eat cake. I don't eat it often, but I still eat it. You know, you still eat cake. We still partake in different things here and there. But because of the type of lifestyle that we eat, our bodies won't even let us eat a certain way for a long period of time.
For a long period of time. It sure will not.
If I eat fast food, depending on the restaurant and where it's from, my body's like, wait a minute, we're not doing this. We are not. So, you know, once you start incorporating eating healthier foods, which is really getting more fruits and vegetables into your body, cutting down on those fried foods, not eating as many processed foods. So all of those things that come in boxes and cans and all of that, that's not something you should be eating every day. I personally would say you need to get to a point where you maybe only have those once a week, if that.
If that.
Right, if that. And then with the sugar is huge for a lot of people, and it's an addiction.
Very much.
You know,
it's so addictive and it's so hard for a lot of people to quit. And so it works on our brain, and we've had many discussions on this show about the sugar, but your body's not going to heal if you have a lot of sugar in your body and if your body's inflamed.
Right, exactly. So that leads us to these underlying conditions. So we know that people with lung problems and people with diabetes and hypertension are at risk. But what about those people that deal with inflammation already in their bodies? They're not thinking that they're at risk. If you have arthritis,
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that's the type of autoimmune disease. Lupus, all of these things that cause inflammation in the body. You could even say a person, if you look at the list of autoimmune diseases, it has psoriasis on there, certain types of eczema. So these people are people whose bodies are already inflamed. They already deal with issues with their body essentially attacking itself. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are out and now eating a lot of sugar, eating a lot of processed things, then you are decreasing the ability for your immune system to work properly. And that puts you at a higher risk of contracting something like COVID-19 or catching the flu or being a person that gets a cold all the time. You see those people, I even have them in my family where it's like, didn't you just have a cold like last
Mm-hmm.
week? Why are you sick again? But it's because of their lifestyle. And once you continue to live that way, your immune system continues to decrease. And then that opens you up for other things like the diabetes and cancer and all these other issues that we see. So it's really about making sure that you're changing your lifestyle, watching what you're eating, that you're drinking enough water. Exercising is another big one, because that can help increase your immune system's ability to function properly. And then we can talk about supplements and things like that, if you want to talk about that as well.
So when our immune system is out of whack,
Mhm.
it causes inflammation, but what other signs would it be that your immune system is out? I know catching colds and
Mhm.
you know I don't know, your stomach being protruding because of gluten.
Mhm.
What else would your immune system being out of whack? What how else would it look? What else would it look like?
So it can look differently for different people. You can be a person that deals with a lot of headaches because you're eating certain foods that your body doesn't like. You could be, like you said, getting a lot of colds, people that are having these recurrent yeast infections and infections in different areas of your body. Maybe you're a person that gets ear infections all the time, or you have a lot of different pains in your body that you can't really explain. So now we're talking about people with fibromyalgia. Um,
Mhm.
you know,
I had fibromyalgia. I suffered with that for a long time,
mhm.
and it was awful. And so that was because of my immune system being compromised.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And then, those gut issues. So now, if we are looking at the amount of eliminations that you're having, if you're a person that is constipated all the time, you're not able to go to the bathroom often. You might be a person who's only going 2 times a week. I've even heard people tell me that they only go every 21 days. And I'm like, how are you functioning? I would be afraid if I only went twice a week. So if you go every 21 days and you're eating 3 times a day, 3 meals a day, that's not okay. You should be eliminating more than that.
You know what's so funny? You said constipation, and my business coach, she probably would cringe, but I almost put a post yesterday.
Mhm.
How many of you are constipated? Because I know if you're constipated, you are having some real issues. And so constipation is a big thing. A lot of my clients say they hardly ever go to the bathroom. I was that way when I would have my fibromyalgia and I was taking all the pills and all that stuff. So constipation is big, and there's a lot of women that are constipated. They're not going to the bathroom.
Yeah. And that starts to affect other things because if you think about it, your bowel is in the same area as your reproductive organs. If you're not going properly, that's putting pressure in that area. So then you start having pains and then you're wondering what's the problem. And maybe
Mhm.
you're bleeding heavily, or maybe you're starting to notice some hormonal issues. All of these things are tied together because it really tells you that one, your gut health is off.
Mhm.
Which is like where your immune system really lies. So if
Mhm.
your gut health isn't good, then your immune system isn't good either. And your body is giving you signs.
Now, what about a lot of the women that are in our group are probably middle age. I'm in my 50s, and so a lot of the women, you're a young girl, so you don't have these issues, but a lot of the women are older women, I would say between 50 to, hey, Wani Poo, my aunt's on today. How you doing? Good to see you today. Everybody that's on today, I'm sorry, I'm just so ingrown, but we have a lot of people on. We have Angie on. Let me go back. I'm gonna ask my question. We have Janetta and Sherry and Kim and Amanda and Kat and Jasmine. Jasmine is going to be on soon. We have Norma, Glenda, Christy, and Harold. So we have quite a few people on today. So a lot of those women that I talked about are in our age group. So so women that are in, like, I would say between 50 to 65, what are some of the best things that we can do to get us in line and keep us strong and keep us healthy so that, as because sometimes those chronic health conditions start for women as we get older, which is what happened to me. So what can we do at the start so that we don't continue to have that downward slide in our health?
Right. So what I was talking about before, really, first of all, just know the status of your health. Go see
Okay.
someone, find out where you stand. Know what's going on inside your body so that you can then start to really work on those things. But secondly, you can change your lifestyle at any point. I've seen people that are in their 70s, that decide to change their lifestyle and they're able to live happy, healthy lives. So you don't have to just say, oh, I'm too old to change my life. And with me, when I was in my 20s, I was dealing with perimenopause. I was dealing with perimenopause. I had the night sweats, all of the things that you start experiencing later in life, I was dealing with at that time. And I was able to reverse it by changing my lifestyle. So I know what it's like to wake up in a pool of sweat or to be sitting there, having those hot flashes. But really just focus on eating healthy foods. So making sure that you're getting the lots and lots of fruits and vegetables in your body. If you don't like to eat those, because I've seen a lot of people in that age bracket, like 45 to 60, that are like, I don't like vegetables.
I hear that from a lot of my clients. They don't. And so with those people, normally I start them on getting smoothies, because at least I know they're getting the vegetables, the fruit in them, and that's a great way to start.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Smoothies and juices. So drink those juices, get those smoothies in your body, cut out or cut down the fried food. Start slow. If you're a person that eats it 3 times a week, cut down to 2. And then the next month, try to cut down to 1 time a week. And then maybe the next month you do twice a month. And that can really, really help you just by doing those things. You can start to look at what's going on inside your body. So if you're dealing with arthritis or any type of inflammatory issue, I would say that you can start on the diets that focus on that. So the anti-inflammatory diets, get a lot of fish in your diet, a lot of things like ginger and turmeric, and those kind of warming foods. And then really start to focus on your gut health. So bone broth, probiotic rich foods. I like to do a lot of sauerkraut, kimchi, those types of things. Yogurt. I personally like coconut yogurt because I don't do dairy, but just find what works for you. You can do water kefir or kefir, and then you can also do, I like kombucha.
I love kombucha. I love it.
Yes. So you can do that too. You can focus on drinking teas that will help with your digestive system. Those are things like chamomile and fennel, peppermint, ginger, those types of things. And then even dandelion. Dandelion is good for so many things, and it's really good for inflammation. It really focuses on your liver, which is where a lot of us have issues anyway, because our liver and our kidneys need to filter all the bad stuff out. And if we're not focusing on them in conjunction with everything else, then we're probably not going to see the right results.
Yeah, I've been having some issues with my liver, but I've been doing milk thistle and what else? I've done doing some buckwheat,
Mhm.
more buckwheat and some lentils. I started taking the digestive enzyme, and that has seemed to really help a lot with my liver issues. And so I like what you said. You know, start know where you stand, and
Mhm.
so taking a look at where you are and then making those decisions. So when so the everything we're talking about, you're talking about is natural healing,
Mhm.
doing things naturally, putting natural things in your body, the ginger, the turmeric, the milk thistle, the dandelion. And these things are not expensive to do. So a lot of times people think when they think of natural things, they're thinking they got to go to the health food store, spend a lot of money, but really you don't.
Mhm. Yeah, there are dandelions growing outside in your yard right now.
I got a bunch of them. I can see them from here.
Right. You can, instead of cutting them when you cut grass, you can go outside and get you some little shovel and dig up those roots and dry them out in your oven. After you've rinsed them off, you can dry them out in your oven and make yourself some tea if you don't want to spend the money. I tend to go to the health food store and you can get a big bag of dandelion root and it doesn't cost a lot of money.
Right.
The little roots, I usually spend like $1.50 at a time.
Okay.
And I can make tea with that for at least a week. So, it's not a lot.
Do you drink a lot of tea? I'm not a big tea lover. For
Yeah.
some reason, you like warming stuff, and I
Mhm.
don't like stuff hot. I don't like stuff cold, but I'm not a things that like person likes warming stuff all the time. And so
Mhm.
like, and then when it's summertime, I'm thinking, oh, I need to drink tea,
Oh,
hot
no, no,
tea. And then
no.
it's like, why did you drink it all winter? It's cold, it's hot now. You want to talk about drinking some hot tea? That's crazy. So
No, no, no. So I only drink tea for the most part throughout the fall and winter months. And
okay,
then in spring, I do like a detox diet where I kind of detox my body through just food.
hmm
And then when it gets cold again, I'll go back to my tea. But I also make tinctures for
okay.
myself during those winter months so that when the spring comes, I can still get my milk thistle and my dandelion in without having to drink it because I don't do tea when it's hot. I can't.
So we have quite a few people on today. Does anybody have any questions for Sierra today? I have somebody that Kim said she liked she tried the coconut yoga and she said it was good. I've tried coconut flour, and I've
Mhm.
done coconut creamer for my coffee. And so those are good. I like those. So but does anybody have any questions, please, for Sierra? I mean, she is a wealth of information and she is just pouring so much into us today. So we're talking about naturally healing your body. And so we're talking about roots and teas and um, um, uh, ginger and turmeric and bone broth and um, um, elimination, getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you and putting in good stuff that's going to help you. That's normally what I do with a lot of my clients, especially if we've tried different things and we're not getting in results. We'll just strip away some things for a little bit of time and start adding stuff in. And so then that way you kind of know what is working for you and what is not. And that can be very hard for people. And I like what you said, it starts with your mindset, because you have to think about, I'm sick, I'm tired of being sick, I want to be well,
Mhm.
and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be better. And so that the mindset, that's key there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And in a case like this, where we have the COVID-19 coronavirus scare going on all over the world, I think this should really be a wake up call to everybody. When you see people that have underlying conditions being the people that they're saying you're most at risk, and then you also see younger people dying, and then they come to find out, oh, this person had cancer and didn't know, or oh, this was going on with this person and they didn't know. That means that you really need to take control of your health and be on top of things and know where you stand and really take care of yourself anyway, and not just wait until you get sick to do it.
And I love what you said, not just wait till you get sick. And that's what happens a lot of times. People wait until they're really sick. And I'm not saying that they can't get better, but it takes longer to heal. I have a question. It says, please clarify types of juices to drink. And so I have a juicer and I make fresh juice. A lot of the store-bought juices, they tend to have a lot of more sugar in them. So talk about, either homemade juices or if you found some that you can get on the store shelf that seem to be more healthier for you.
Yes. So with homemade juices, it depends on the type of issue that you want to focus on. If we're dealing with liver, and I'll just give this example because it's one that I like to drink often. It helps your liver, and it also helps with your iron levels because I struggle with iron issues. But you can juice beets. So I'll take like one medium-sized beet. I'll add in a carrot, and then I'll do a green apple and a red apple. I always do organic if you can. Then I'll put in a little bit of lemon for vitamin C because you need vitamin C in order to be able to take in the iron properly. And then I will just juice those together and make myself, kind of a liver cleansing / iron building juice. But it really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're focusing on inflammation, you're going to want to put things like ginger and turmeric. You may even want to do pineapple as long as you're not allergic to it, because pineapple has a lot of different enzymes in it that are good for inflammation. So, really just look for different recipes. You can go on Google. Dr. Oz has a lot of good juices.
I have a lot of recipes too. So if anybody, after this show, I will post some recipes on my business page and on my in the private page. I've got loads and loads of juicing recipes. Lots of them I've tried. And so, but yeah, Dr. Oz, there's a lot of people, juicing is a big thing. And so you can find them online, but I will put some in our as a link, and so that you can easily download them. But yeah, when you said the beets, the carrots, the apple and lemon, those are probably the staples of what I do. I tend to put like everything in the kitchen sink. I'll put celery and cucumbers, but I always have some type of green, spinach or kale, because those are filled with the chlorophyll and we need those greens. And so, but yeah, beets are great because I'm iron deficient, and so I love my beets, and I even will bake them and put them in my smoothies, and so that I can get my juice, my beets and iron in my juices as well too. So
yeah, absolutely. And then you can also go to your local juice shop. A lot of times they will have those juice cleanses, or they just have the fresh juices that they make every day, and they sell them, and you can buy them there if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. I don't have a juicer. I have one of the Vitamixes.
Yeah,
I just make my juice that way and strain it. I had a juicer, but I didn't like cleaning it. It was clean every day. I had the Jack LaLanne, and it was not easy to get in there properly. So I'm looking for a new juicer if you have any suggestions.
Well, mine, it's a Breville, and I've had it for a while. It's probably not the best one, but it's really good because it doesn't get the juice real hot, so it retains a lot of the vitamins, and it's very easy to clean. So that's been very well. I do want a Vitamix. Those are just amazing because you do all kind of soups and everything in them. So any other questions? Miss Kim, thank you. I'm glad you got your question answered about the juice. Kim, I've got lots of juicing recipes, and I'll be happy to send you some. Any other questions out there? But yeah, we're talking about how to not get sick through this coronavirus. And so we've been on for almost 40 minutes. We'll talk about why this coronavirus has attacked people with those underlying conditions so easily.
Okay, so the virus itself is dead, and I think that's kind of, like something people that don't really understand. Bacteria is alive. Okay, it lives and it moves and all these things, but viruses do not. Viruses are dead. So
Okay.
the only way that they can live is to feed off of the host that they're in. And if you have a healthy immune system, you're fighting viruses every single day. And your body's able to just kind of, go, no, we're not going to deal with that. Just kind of, fight it off. But if you're a person who has all of these underlying conditions, then your immune system is already compromised. And if your immune system is compromised, then anything pretty much can come in and attack. It's like think about, back in the day when they lived in those kingdoms. And if they didn't have a wall built around it with guards and all of that, then people could just come in and steal everything and take everything. And that's what you do when you have a compromised immune system. You are living in a castle with no wall and nobody to fight to defend you. So if the cold virus comes in, it takes over. If the flu comes in, it takes over. And, that happens with everything. So if you want to be able to protect yourself from these things, you really have to look at your lifestyle and start to work on getting healthy. Because the other thing that comes along with all of these issues is a lot of people are overweight. And they are dealing with not being active. They don't exercise. They probably don't drink enough water. They're not getting enough vitamin D. We've seen from the studies that having low vitamin D can put you at risk. People are not getting enough vitamin C. We've seen that can help as well. So if you're not eating properly, then you're not getting enough vitamins, you're not getting enough minerals. And then when these things come in, they just take over.
Wow, a great analogy. Kim said great analogy. And when you were saying, I was like, wow, I've never thought of it like that. That is a great analogy. And so we have to put a hedge of protection around us. We have to fence ourselves in with the good things that are in our body, the good things that we to put in our body so that that bacteria is not alive doesn't come alive in our body and make us sick, pretty much. Yeah. And so, yeah, that everybody loved the way you broke that down. That was amazing. That was really good, Sierra. That was really good. So yeah, so I like that. And so because this virus is the virus is dead, but the bacteria is alive, and if we have underlying condition, that bacteria there's no hedge around us, then that bacteria can get in. And so the bottom line, everybody, is get healthy, eat right, exercise, get good sleep, put the right clean stuff in your body, good, clean, organic foods, get your water. Make sure you're going to the bathroom, because if you're not going to the bathroom, you've got issues. Like I said, I almost posted that yesterday. It was on my mind, because if you're not going to the bathroom, you've got issues. And so, you've got and it's not just gut, is that stuff is backed up in you. And so a good cleanse and a good detox is great. I'm getting ready to do another detox again. I love doing, and I love to give a detox another name, because when you hear detox, people think it's a horrible thing, but a detox is really just a way to eliminate stuff, put good stuff in, and so that your body can have that homeostasis and get aligned and get back in balance as you eliminate stuff that's not good for you, putting in good stuff like the juicing and the smoothie. When I do my detoxes, we're eating nice, clean food. So a nice, clean food. So yeah, but we'll talk about the detox. So anyway, Sierra, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I just want to say to really, really focus on making sure that your health is your top priority. A lot of us get stressed out about money. We want to make sure that we focus on all the things that we have going on. And I think that one thing that this virus did do was make us slow down. So take this time to really get the rest that you need, to eat properly, to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to take care of your body. And if we do that, then our bodies will be able to function a lot better after this is over than they did probably before.
Absolutely, right. And so the thing is, there will be another pandemic,
Mhm.
there will be a flu, there will be something else. And so if you have underlying condition, chronic issues, diabetes, overweight, arthritis, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, a lot of these chronic diseases, and most of them can be fixed by what you put in your body, by
Mhm.
changing the way you eat. And I'm just gonna and not putting not a diet per se, but changing the way you eat, the way you think, the way you talk, the
Mhm.
way you just go through life, and you can turn these things around. But if you don't want, and so the thing is to inoculate yourself so that these things don't come. It's going to come again.
Mhm.
And so today is the day. Now is the time to get yourself healthy naturally so that when the next thing comes along that you're not susceptible. You just never know. This coronavirus has been horrible, but the next one may come around and really wipe people out.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to scare us, but it could. And so if we're not healthy on the inside, we're susceptible to anything.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why we need to know where do you stand right now, and then once you find out, do something about
Absolutely.
it. You know?
Once you find out, do something. So many people, they find out stuff and they put their heads in the sand like it's all just going to go away, but it's not going to go away. There are
Mhm.
no quick fixes. There are no gimmicks. It's really easy, but sometimes you need help. And that's why health coaches are so vital right now,
Mhm.
because you just need somebody to take you by the hand and lead you and guide you down the path so that you can have the optimal health that we need. And so you can't put your head in the sand. You can't be, I'm going to be not eat good 5 days out the week, but I'm only going to eat good 2 days out the week. It's time out for those ups and downs. We have to
Mhm.
be consistent. We have to be diligent. We have to take our health as the most important thing that we have. That's the most thing we have of value. And
Mhm.
anything is our health. And if we don't take care of it, then we're going to be in trouble. And when the next pandemic or the next thing comes along, who knows if we're going to survive, you
Right.
know.
Yep.
So yes, mental health is so important, because it starts in the mind. Mostly with my clients, I start there because you have to have a mindset. I work with a naturopath, and this is what we do. We start with the first things first, figure out what's going on, and then we go from there. You can't conquer what you don't know.
Right. Exactly. And it all starts in your mind. Because if you get a diagnosis and somebody tells you you have something, and the first thing you do is, oh God, I'm sick. What am I going to do? Woe is me. That's not going to help you get better. You have to have in your mind that I'm going to fight this thing, I'm going to beat it, and I'm going to be okay. And that separates people who fight and get better from those who just lay down and, for lack of better words, lay down and die. You don't want to be that person. So take your health seriously and do what you have to do. Get a health coach, get somebody, do something.
Do something.
Mhm.
Do something. So if we don't have any other questions, we're going to end on that. That last statement is everything. Do something. You can heal yourself. You don't have to be sick. I don't care if you're 70 years old, if you've had all these underlying conditions for a long time. Now is the time to turn things around, and you can turn things around, and you can turn things around quickly, but you got to be diligent and you got to be willing to make those changes, and it all starts in the mind. Thank you so much, Sierra. We had quite a few people on today. Really, we did. So I'm going to shout out to people that was on. Auntie Bailey was on, Dewan, Kim, Wendy, Lee, Karen Templeton, Jennifer Rose, Ariana Russell, Cherie Brantley, Janetta, Angie, We had a lot of people on today, so I'm excited. It was a good
Awesome.
show.
That's
And so I will leave. Now, Sierra, she is a doula and a fertility coach. And if you have anybody, we didn't talk about that, but that's a whole nother show because I wanted to turn things around, talk about this coronavirus a little bit. But we will have her back on and talking about those. But if you know a young lady or somebody that needs help with conceiving or getting healthier during their pregnancy, help with breastfeeding and things like that, I will post her information in our in the comments here. She's amazing. If you just want to talk to her about health coaching, contact her. We're here for each other. We don't have a monopoly on people. We're just here. We're servants. We just want to help people. And I thank her for her servant's heart. I thank you for being on our show. I thank you for just pouring out so much great information into us today.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, thank you so much. So we're going to say goodbye now. Sierra is a part of our Love for Life group, ladies. And so if you want to reach out to her, you can reach out to her through our private group. And this is an invitation for anyone that was listening that is not a part of the Love for Life private group. It's a group just for ladies, and we can talk freely about some of the things that are going on. There's a lot of free advice in there. We've got challenges going on in there. Getting ready to start some webinars and things that are just for the ladies in that group. So if you want some more one-on-one time with me and some of the other wellness practitioners that are in our group, join. If you're not a part of that group, join the Love for Life group, and we would love to have you ladies to be a part of our group. So we're going to sign off, but thank you so much, Sierra, for being on today. We appreciate you. Everyone, take care, and we'll see you next time. Take care. All right.